Good morning, everyone, and welcome to FederCamere office. I'm Giordania, office manager of FederCamere, and it's a pleasure for me to meet you all. We have the honor to host today for UNIDO ITPO Italy, Mr. Francesco Lallocca, investment promotion expert, Mr. Dino Fortunato, chief technical advisor, and Ms. Elisabetta Vignando, international marketing expert. They organize a roadshow dedicated to Somalia and Jordan, and they are touring today for one of the roadshow stops, together with Mr. Abdullah Mohamed Warfa, Senior Advisor of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry of Somalia, and Mr. Amin Al-Sufi, Director of the Economic Studies and Research Department of the Amman Chamber of Industry. Before starting, I'll give some technical information for the Q&A session in Italian. Quindi anticipo a tutti, soprattutto a chi è online, che dopo i discorsi dei relatori ci sarà una sessione di Q&A, quindi chiedo di iniziare già a pensare a delle domande, appunto perché online c'è la possibilità di scrivere direttamente nella chat e chiedo la cortesia di scrivere direttamente in inglese, così accorciamo un po' i tempi. Per chi desidera possiamo attivarli come relatore, così possono anche proprio fare le domande di persona. Invece per chi è qua in sede ci baseremo sulla classica alzata di mano. We can now start the event with Mr. Maurizio Carnevale, President of FederCamere, who will participate in the roundtable online.
No, normale, allora lo sentiamo di qua. Ok, non so se sentite da questo computer.
Sì, mi sentite?
Sì.
Sì, buongiorno a tutti. Good morning everyone and welcome to our Torino office. A special thanks to our friend at UNIDO and to be the representative of Jordan and Somalia who came here to show us what opportunity their country can offer. Due parole in italiano per gli amici presenti in sala e tutti quelli collegati online. Oggi parliamo di Somalia e di Giordania, due paesi probabilmente non facilissimi, ma proprio per questo possono e potrebbero offrire delle grosse opportunità, quindi reputiamo che valga la pena ascoltare sia i colleghi di UNIDO che i rappresentanti di queste due interessanti nazioni e vedere che cosa potrebbe essere possibile fare nel futuro per noi. Un invito a noi italiani a non arrivare sempre per ultimi, proprio perché sono paesi magari non semplicissimi. Occorre, prima che lo diventino, occorre cominciare a relazionarsi con loro, a comprenderli, ad avere i giusti legami, i giusti contatti sul posto. And so I wish everyone a good continuation of the work with the hope of being able to meet you as personally as soon as possible. Have a good day, everyone, and see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone on face-to-face presentation and online participants. Thank you for UNIDO, and it's our pleasure to host this kind of event to present opportunity for Italian companies in this country, Somalia and Jordan region, but also MENA, I think, right? Opportunity for Italian companies, that's why. I can't add something better than the experts, so the floor is yours,
okay. So,
Mr. Pallacca. Or Dino, yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so
well, Okay. Here.
Yeah.
So thank you, Vanessa. Thank you also FederCamere to host, this event here in Turin. So it's also an honor for us to be here to present these two countries and also to present UNIDO for those that already don't know about our office. Because as you know, UNIDO is the specialized agency of the United Nations for industrial development, and our office in Italy is a kind of is a network of office in another 9 countries around the world for investment promotion and technology transfer. So in our daily work, what we are doing is just to identify investment and business opportunities like we are presenting now in Jordan and Somalia to present to potential investors or for potential business to the Italian business community from one side, and the other side is just to also search for secure technology in order to transfer into those countries, especially in the developing countries, in order to improve their productive processes and also to transfer best practice and capacity building for the small and medium enterprises in developing countries. This is just in a nutshell, what we are doing. But of course, I won't just go to the focus of this presentation today, because we are here with 2 representatives. Well, Amin Al-Asufi, that was already introduced from the Amman Chamber of Industry, because we are organizing also there in the framework of a special project financed by the Italian Agency for Italian Development, the Cooperation Agency. We are organizing a regional investment forum and business that will be held in Amman on 22nd and 23rd of May. In this occasion, will be hosted in Amman, but as it is regional, will cover also companies and institutions from Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, and Palestine. So that's why we will have today, an in-depth presentation about the opportunities that, in especially Jordan is offering, because also it's a gateway and a hub, for connecting business not only locally but also for the region, for the entire Middle East region. You will see they have also many free trade agreements with EU and with Arabic countries, so it could be a very good opportunity to set up business or to establish a relationship with Jordanian companies there. From the other side, we have Abdullahi Warfa, that is the senior advisor from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry of Somalia. And well, in Somalia, we are also working a lot as UNIDO in different kind of projects. But there is also a project financed also by the Italian Development Cooperation Agency. And in this case, we are organizing this also Italy-Somalia Business Forum that will be held on 31st of May in Mogadishu. In this case, also you will see with the presentation of Abdullahi, they have also potential, so much potential in terms of opportunities in many sectors, especially in food, agriculture, and infrastructures and other sectors, because also they can be like a hub to connect to many countries in Africa, especially because also they have very good free trade agreements with countries like Ethiopia, Djibouti, and others. So you will see during the presentation. But well, this is just to sum up, what we are doing. And so I would like just to give the floor to Mr. Amin. So now I would like just to give the floor to Amin Al-Asufi, who will give us also, an in-depth presentation about how much Jordan is offered in terms of business and investment opportunities.
Thank you, Dino. Presentation.
Yeah, the presentation for
Jordan.
you can see here the
Oh,
Per andare avanti, la manda avanti lei.
Manda avanti tu. Sì.
Ok.
control.
Controllo.
Okay. Good morning, all, and thank you for being here with us today. And it's a real honor for us to sit before you. This is Emilio Sufi. I'm a director of economic studies and research at Amman Chamber of Industry. It is one of the industrial chamber of Jordan. In Jordan, we do have several chambers, separately for the commerce and the other for the industries. We are representing almost 17,000 industrial firms in Jordan. Just a quick brief about Jordan to whom never, let's say, heard about Jordan or never visited Jordan. Jordan is located in the middle of the Middle East. The slide, please.
There's no.
Okay.
Gone. I just.
Yeah. You can go on.
Okay. It's in the middle of the Middle East, surrounding by Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Syria, and Palestine. Jordan is a country has one of the most dynamic and diversified economics in the MENA region and is uniquely positioned to provide regional and global access to businesses. We are so based on its strategic location and on the political side, we are somehow moderate and neutral. And regarding the macroeconomic indicators and macroeconomic performance, second slide, please. Okay. Okay, the population is almost 10.5 million.
Go big. Okay.
Yeah,
It's okay?
thank you. Okay. Our GDP, the gross domestic product, is almost 42 billion USD a year. We are growing in GDP almost 2.2 on average yearly. And our national export, whether agriculture or the industrial export, is almost 11.5 billion a year. The Jordanian dinar is already big since the 90s with the US dollar. No, okay. The sector contributions to the GDP supposed to be a graph here, but the industrial sector of Jordan almost 24% of GDP, and the second one is the financial and banking system with almost 18% of the GDP. The agriculture sector is almost 4% of the GDP. The second one. I will here just focus our quick also brief about the industrial sector in Jordan. We are considering the industrial sector of Jordan as a strategic sector, where it, as I told you, it's almost 25% of the GDP as direct contribution, and indirect and direct contribution, it's almost 50% with its, let's say, backward and inward relations with other sectors. Almost 93% of the national export is already from the manufacturing sector. 21% of the labor workforce is already working within the industrial sector, and it's mostly during the last decade, 80% of the foreign direct investment came to Jordan, and flow to Jordan is already directed to the industrial sector. Next one, please. Okay, the industrial sector, we do have 10 subsectors with variety of let's say gross output. The wood and furniture sector, plastic and rubber sector, engineering, electrical and information technology, and here we have some success stories regarding the solar panels and renewable energy, and regarding the manufactured gold. The other one is chemical and cosmetic industries sector. Here we passed through a good success story also in chemical industries, whether organic and inorganic chemicals, and also in the fertilizers. We are witnessing a good success stories in exporting or in producing and exporting the fertilizers around the world. The other sector is the pharmaceutical sector and medical supplies. We are exporting more than 800 million a year to almost 120 countries. The other one is leather and garment sector. This mainly led by the Jordanian United States free trade agreement. We are exporting to the United States almost 2.5 billion a year from the ready-made garment. The food, catering, agriculture, and livestock. It's one already from the promising sectors in Jordan, where we are exporting almost 400 million a year, mainly to the surrounding countries and to the European Union also. The other one is the construction sector. And the last one is the mining sector, as Jordan enjoys a huge reserve of phosphate, potash, and silica. The production and added value at $25 billion, the total of gross output of our production for the industrial sector. 46% is our share in the local market, and it ranks first among Arab countries on industrial sector value added, and it almost the added value of the total production is 45%. This is some indicators about the labor in the sector. As I said, it's almost hiring 254,000. 80% of them are Jordanian, and it ranks first among all sector in job creation abilities. Our export performance, 10.5 billion last year, 93% of the national export. The average annual growth rate of the sector's export over the past decade, 2.3, except the last year, 2022, our export or national export grow with almost 32%, not just in terms of value, but almost in terms of quantity, where the fertilizers and chemicals enters the EU markets and the Latin America markets also. The distribution of our exports supported by the FTAs. I will talk later about the FTAs. 47% is going to the Arab countries or the regional market. 27% goes to the North America, 18% to the Asian market, only 3% to the EU. Mainly our export is led by the textile. As I told you, it's derived from the US Jordan FTA. 27% of our export are textile and ready-made garment. 20% is almost mining industries, which is rock phosphate and potash. 12% are pharmaceutical products, and 15.5 is the chemical industries and cosmetic preparations. Why Jordanian products? High quality, competitive price, products diversity, and complying with the international standards and state-of-art production technology. As I told you, the FDI inflow to Jordan in the last decade, almost 80% of the FDI is going to the industrial sector. So, why Jordan? The attractive advantages for the investment, the first one is the free trade agreements, as Dino mentioned before. We do have 7 to 6 free trade agreements. The first one we signed in the 19th is the Great Arab Free Trade Agreement, GAFTA, which is a free trade agreement between almost 22 countries within the region. The second one is the EU-Jordan Association Agreement, or the Free Trade Agreement, already signed at the rate of 19th. The third one is the US Jordanian Free Trade Agreement, which is the simplest agreement we do have, with no quota, with no custom duties, with let's say no standards, a lot of standards, let's say, except for the food industries. The third one is with Canada, Jordan Free Trade Agreement, and with Singapore, Jordan Free Trade Agreement. And we do have an agreement with the IFTA countries. We used to have an agreement with Turkey. We signed in 2010, but we canceled the agreement in 2018, and we are negotiating now a new agreement. No, the same one, the same. Okay. We do have efficient human resources. As I told you, almost 80% of the workers within the industrial sector in Jordan is already Jordanian, except the leather and garment, ready-made garment industries. It's the opposite. 80% are from different countries, as it's really labor-intensive industry. I will talk later about the efficient human resources. Also, the availability of raw materials. As I told you, in Jordan, we are the fourth in the world regarding the phosphate reservation, and also regarding the potash. The availability of the Red Sea, of the Dead Sea raw material or muds. Can I? Okay. And also for the silica. We do have promising opportunities. We are considering Jordan as a land of opportunities, and it's really a hub to the region and to the international market. Now in the region, there are a lot of opportunities already exist, and a lot of opportunities that will come later regarding the reconstruction, huge reconstruction that will be already in Iraq and Syria after the instability that they have. We do have various investment incentives. In January this year, we already have a new investment law with a lot of investment incentives. We do have two scheme of incentives for the investment in Jordan. The first one, which is the basic in the industrial sector, you can produce while your raw material is already exempted from the custom duties and from the tax, and also your machinery and any supplies need for the production will be already exempted from the custom duties and the sales tax. The other scheme, while we are encouraging several type of investment, like the strategic investments, or what we call the new investment that already not exists in Jordan, or investment that already helped Jordan to reach its target regarding the workforce or the unemployment. Next one, yes, please. I talk about the various investment incentives. In Jordan, we do have development and industrial zones across the country where developed land and ready-made industrial buildings and in various areas provides infrastructure needed by different industries, and there is also package of investment incentives already and wide range of basic and support services. The efficient of human resources. We are in the 13 globally in terms of availability of scientists and engineers indicator, 24 globally as an easy to find skilled labor indicator, and 31 globally in digital skills among the population indicator. The availability of raw materials, we are the 5th largest in phosphate reserves and 7th largest in potash product, and we do have unique Dead Sea products. This is the free trade agreements, what I have already mentioned. This is development and industrial zones. Okay, the promising opportunities based on the International Trade Center calculations, we still have almost $4 billion US untapped export potential to the world based on the current production gross output, and there is a lot we can do in the ICT sector, pharmaceutical, chemicals, and fertilizers, and that's not clear, the fourth one. Okay, next one. So 10 reasons to invest in Jordan: the attractive investment climate, qualified and competitive human resource, world-class infrastructure and communication, high quality of life, free zone and industrial estates, access to major international market to over 1.5 billion consumers around the world, and also a package of incentives and exemptions, free market-oriented economy, and a stable political environment. Easy market access, it's also regarding the FTAs. Okay, ease of doing business. We are in Jordan almost now ranked 60. We are improving during the last decade in terms of ease of doing business. Investment opportunities in Jordan. We do have in Jordan, last year we confirmed by His Majesty King Abdullah the economic modernization vision, which is our plan or our, let's say, foresight for the 2033, which is a 10-year plan. The priority sector is the ICT, healthcare, industry, and tourism. And for the industry, we are mainly focusing on the food industry to ensure the food security in Jordan and in the region. So I will just go through these investment, let's say, opportunities. The first one is silicon wafer, a photovoltaic modeling assembly plan. It's worth to 11.5 million USD. Second one, a lightweight construction materials factory, which is worth to almost 3 million USD. Ceramic manufacturing plant, which is worth to 64 million USD. All these investment opportunities, we do have a pre-feasibility study for them. The food grade phosphoric acid, which is almost worth it to 70 million. Fertilizer plants, almost 37 million. Soilless collectivate project, which is almost 4.5 million. Float glass factory, which is almost 150 million. A glass container factory, which is almost 21 million US dollar. So this is a quick, let's say, overview about Jordan. And mainly, I would like to invite you all to be in Jordan in 22nd of May. As Dino said, we do have the business and investment forum, which will, let's say, gather business community from 6 countries in the Middle East. The main theme is to promoting inclusion and competitive and sustainable agro value chains, but it will be a real and physical platform for all business communities to meet and to have B2B matchmaking in one let's say, place. So the investment forum will be in 22-23 of May in Amman, Jordan. Thank you.
So to continue now, we will give the floor to Abdullahi Mohammed Warfa. So he will illustrate us also the opportunities that Somalia has to offer. So Abdullahi.
Thank you very much. Good morning. I'm very glad to be here with you. I would like to say first of all that from young age, I used to hear a lot of the names of a lot of cities in Italy, Particularly, I love to visit Roma, Torino, Milano, Napoli. Those were the cities which I loved to visit, and I'm grateful that today I'm here in Torino. Secondly, I want to just go briefly about Somalia and the opportunities that exist, and then I will talk about the forum on the end. So let us look at Somalia. The name is the Federal Republic of Somalia. Somalia before was without federal, it was Republic of Somalia. But because of political differences and because of the people that made that happen in this country, we came with the idea of federalize Somalia, so everyone will be happy, and that decision came out from gathering peace negotiations, peace. So we have a Federal Republic of Somalia consisting 5 regions: Somaliland and Puntland, Galmudug, and Jubaland, and Southwest. So now we have 5 regions consisting of Somalia, Federal Republic of Somalia. Population 15 million, 2 million is plus 2 million is abroad, diaspora, and I'm sure quite a number of those diaspora are Italian speaking now. And the total area 87 and 657 kilometers square. So we are neighboring with Djibouti, Ethiopia, and Kenya, and Yemen on the other side. Major cities are Mogadishu. Sorry, you just keep the Mogadishu and Hargeisa, Mayo, and Paidop. Those are the main cities in Somalia. The language is Somali. The south, they speak Italian. The north, the north, they speak Italian Somali, but the south is also, they speak English. So let us talk about briefly the good reason is to invest in Somalia. Number one, strategic location. Somalia is a country in Africa, sub-Sahara, and it neighbors, as I mentioned it, with Ethiopia and Kenya and the Gulf of Yemen, and the Indian Ocean. Also, it has a strategic location with, in terms of the maritime, along the Bab Mandeb and routes through the Red Sea. So it's a main maritime for all international trade and security. It's a very strategic location that is a gate to all international trade that goes through that sea, the Red Sea. Also, it is a gate to Africa, connects with the Asia, connect with Europe, and connect the outside of Africa. So all African countries, they should go through Somalia in order to connect with the Middle East, with the other Asians, also with the European. So it's as a good location internationally. Second thing is human capital labor. Somali population, Somali nation is young, with, as we said, it's 15 million, but recently they have grown rapidly. However, the country also have a competitive advantage in terms of low labor cost, which encourage the investors to consider Somalia as their place to invest. Also, the age, the range is from 15 to 35. That is the range of the population, the age of the Somalis. 75 of the population also are youth, and also they have a primary school enrollment that last year it was estimated 96%, which is very high for that area. So also you can have a low and skilled labor, jobs in agriculture, fishing, all the sectors in Somalia that the youth can work with talented skills. And then the second one is the third one is the untapped resources that Somalia has. Somalia was once called as Switzerland of Africa, with a coastline of 3,303, with a substantial fishing resources. Also, the World Bank estimated that Somalia is the second largest. They have the second largest gold in Africa. Also, we have considerable oil and gas deposits in Somalia. So those reasons made Somalia very competitive, and also it sent a signal to invest Somalia early. So now let us focus on the sectors that needs to be invested. Priority sectors: agriculture. Agriculture plays a vital role in Somali economy, contributing to approximately 70% of the country's GDP, 80% of unemployment is coming from agriculture. However, with this, Somalia has 8 million land kilometer square that is good to invest in terms of agriculture, but without the technology, without the know-how technology, with the necessary equipment, machineries, it's exploited, and it needs to have investment. Somalia is seeking for investment on the agriculture, food agriculture, and also agro processing. So we are inviting all Italian companies, which we know their quality and we know they have a technology capability to invest in that sector, which is fertile actually to be exploited. And the second sector, which we are looking to invest, to get investment and attention of the commercial companies, is the livestock. Livestock is the backbone of Somali economy, accounting for 60% of the country's production. However, it's estimated that we have 40,000 heads of livestock, consisting of camel and goats and also cattle. But without a very basic technology, we couldn't utilize that sector as it was supposed to be utilized. And for that reason, we are the meat processing. We are looking for the machineries, for the technologies, for the know-how technology that can assist this sector to be exploited, particularly meat processing and dairies. Fish sector is one of the main sectors in Somalia, but because we have tendency as a community to the meat, the fish sector was ignored and was not exploited. The fish is very promising sector. Somalia has the longest coast with the longest coast in Africa with the 3,383 kilometers. So the marine resources is huge, untapped, unexploited, and it needs investment, and it needs also those companies who work in that area and specialize to get in Somalia quickly and get the benefit of this sector that profits or benefits Somalia, also benefits the investors and citizens. Then the other sector is industry sector. Somalia have before the civil war, around 70 industries, but that was destroyed because of the civil war. And now the country now is rehabilitating most of it, and the government is looking for investment and is ready to partnership with the Italian companies and to explore and carry on the major, the light medium industries that can contribute to the economy overall, and also the export of the products from Somalia. So now we go to the infrastructure. Telecommunication company is a national communication node, and also national communication agency was established in Somalia. So this sector is very active, and telecom market, which is driven by the competitive mobile sector, was ranked in Somalia in number 1 in Africa and number 7 in the world. So with the right skills, with the right machineries, with the right technology, this can be advanced more and be competitive with the, particularly the towers. This kind of the towers and it's a basic. So the company so specialized on this kind of equipment and materials are welcome to Somalia and to partner with the government or with the other companies who exist already in the market. Energy sector, the government of Somalia truly believes that the investment in the energy sector, including electricity, is very important and will contribute to the sustainability of the economy of Somalia. So we are looking for a hybrid system that combines the solar system and also with the wind energy. So we are much appreciated to have Italian companies who we are invited to participate in the second forum in Somalia to come and see the opportunities in this area. Somalia, they have a very potential in the onshore power that will assist the companies who have a technology and the knowledge to advance this kind of energy and the solar system. Somalia. The transportation is another area that Somalia has small roads and just the large and mega projects such as the runways, railways, and also subways. It's only big companies can carry on, which have enough technology and which have. So the construction of this area is very promising, and we're looking for companies who have knowledge and know-how in this area. Transportation, Somali Airline is currently looking for investors to participate and to have partner the air transportation sector, particularly the airline. Yeah. So that's the other sector. Education. Financial sector is important. The financial sector, the Central Bank of Somalia, is the sole institution that has responsibility for financial sector and also regulates financial activities in the country. Now they have provided already 10 lessons to the 10 different banks internationally and also financial microfinance institutions. So it's the bank that the Central Bank of Somalia has responsibility to. Somalia, the private sector in Somalia, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry is the one who is the responsible organ, the Somali private sector. So the Chamber of Commerce is independent of the government and independent of the Ministry of Trade and Industry. However, in political wise, still it comes under the Ministry of Trade and Industry. Financial service, trade, telecommunication, transportation, construction are all examples of Somali business community that the people during the civil war. So that has also contributed to the survival of a lot of families in Somalia through this private sector. Regulations and procedures for investors. Now, let us read from here the setup and the exit. Foreign investors are welcome to Somalia in any sector. The company law, which was 2019, and investment law 2016, are the main statutes that govern the entry and exit of the government. For example, the legislation allows to establish of new business in Somalia within 2 days, 3 days, but in practical 2 days. Also, the law recognizes 4 types of companies: limited by share, limited by guarantee, limited by both shares, and also guarantees. There is no unlimited companies. There is no minimum requirement for capital investment in Somalia. So the Somali investment law provides for additional benefit, including those who for larger investment, and outlines how this might be gained. So it gives another incentives to invest in Somalia. Obtaining an investment certificate in Somalia. Yes. Federal government will regulate the foreign investment law and the companies those who want to register with Somalia. So in order to get a investment certificate, you fill the application and then you send to the board of directors of investment, and within 24 hours they will respond to the email you given. And next day the Ministry of Trade will issue the certificate. Obtaining land. There is no restriction between foreign and domestic investors in terms of access to the land. So all procedures for purchasing, registering, and transferring titles are handled by the local government. There is environmental related requirements before taking any projects. There is an investment impact assessment to be done before carrying out. Price regulation is open market, so the market regulates by itself. There's no any intervention from the government in price setting. Exit. The government allows to exit voluntarily or compulsory if there is a fraudulent, or if one was filling application incorrect material was put. In that case, the government would revoke the license. So the area of opportunities. Somali government has offered brilliant investment opportunities such as production sectors, livestock, agriculture, fishery, industry. Those are the main factories that Somalia offers incentives, and also looking for investment and trade with the companies, international companies, particularly the Italian companies. So we look, tourism is also one of the areas that Somalia interested. Somalia had historically they had sites that has been historical sites that has very interesting beaches, waterfalls, mountains, and national parks. Now the civil war, the country is recovering. Those areas are now being rehabilitated, and we are looking for some companies to get the benefit of the tourism sector in Somalia. Mining in Somalia is mainly and mostly for the production of non-metallic minerals. So salt, also we have gold, we have uranium, we have also diamonds. So because of low knowledge on this sector from the people, and also because of the Civil War before, it was not utilized and it was not used to get the benefit of the sector. So it's promising really in Somalia, the mining sector. Now, the market, not the Somali market, so it's tiny, it's expanding. And not only, the target is not only Somalia. Somalia has the longest coast, as I mentioned it, but it's a gate to the other African countries. So we are talking about only East Africa, 2 million people, Ethiopia, Somalia, and Kenya. So the market target will be that population, not only Somalia. Somalia will be the main gate for all other Africans. Even the Central Africa will be gate to deliver all protection produced in Somalia. So the companies who have main headquarters in Somalia will have access also to the other countries around and beyond the region. Somalia also, they have a number of agreements. They are so they have regional integration and free trade agreement. The international agreements, African Growth and Opportunities Act, we are member of that. We are also member with the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. Somalia is part of it. Regional integration, also Somalia is part of it. And COMESA, Somalia is part of, it's a member of COMESA. And also the African Continental Free Trade, which is new now and which came to the light. Somalia is part of it. Okay, now the forum. Okay, following the successful first forum, economic forum in Somalia, that triggered the need to have another economic forum in Somalia. The first one was very successful. We have a few companies who benefit from that forum, and they already made agreements with a partnership with some companies in Somalia. Partnership agreements are happening. So that triggered to have another round of economic forum Somalia. With the support of UNIDO and Italy, who are doing really good job in Somalia, that promoting sustainable economic growth through the implementation of various industrial and technology initiatives. By supporting small and medium enterprises, UNIDO also is helping to increase productivity in Somalia. Also focusing on energy efficiency and renewable energy in Somalia. They also, also working to improve the trade infrastructure by building capacity of for international standards and helping small and medium enterprises to meet the export requirements. So with the UNIDO and Italy, we are planning to have a forum that will be a flagship event of Somali Economic Forum initiated by the government of Somalia. The forum is organized with the aim of promoting Somalia business destination for international companies, with the goal of establishing partnership in terms of commercial trade, dealership agreements, technology sourcing, and foreign direct investment. The event will take place on 2 days. The first day will be devoted to the Somali Business and Trade Forum, with the first session of the company presenting their presentation is, and second to the people meeting is. while the second day will be on economic forum open to the international companies from Europe and also from Asia, Gulf countries, international companies. On both days, the companies will have the opportunity to showcase their products in the exhibition area in regard to the industrial sectors, agriculture, fishery, livestock, poultry, and dairy and construction will be focus of the 2 days event, which will give the companies the opportunity to partnership with the local companies. With that remarks, I would like to conclude that I'm looking forward to see you in Mogadishu, to see by yourself the opportunities, and also to make agreements, partnerships with the government, with the private sector companies. So I would like to thank you and say see you in Mogadishu.
Thank you, Abdullahi, for illustrating us also so many opportunities that Somalia is offering. And so I think, well, for the participants in presence and online, they have now very good picture about the opportunities that Somalia, perhaps also a country that is completely unknown, you know, for the Italian business community, but that there is too much potential. But before to leave the floor for Q&A, so I would like to present my colleague also, Elisabetta Vignando. She's doing also, she will do a short presentation about an activity that UNIDO is conducting in Jordan with the project Level Up. So Elisabetta, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Dino. Thanks to all for this morning. I want to briefly present. I don't know if you can show the presentation or if it's possible. Okay. So briefly, a couple of words of Level Up Accelerator. This is a project that we started in 2020 in cooperation with the Ministry of Industry and Trade and Supply for Jordan, with the goals to develop the small and medium enterprises through innovation and digitalization in order to, to support the startup, youth and women, and to develop the second component, the export consortia, through 3 industrial value chain: natural cosmetic, food supplement, and food chain, and garment. So, of course, when we start the project, was in 2020, and we at that time we expect to develop a different project, of course, through B2B meeting, but of course God comes. And so we design a project through full gate, 5 gates improvement. The first 3 gate was conducted online. We select a certain number of companies. At the end, we got more than 350 companies that has been incubated during the whole process. Through, of course, a selection, we got we select 10 digital champions, and we implement a gate in Italy last February in cooperation with the region Friuli Venezia Giulia and the Polo Alto Adriatico, Polo Tecnologico Alto Adriatico. We got the entrepreneurs for 4 weeks, and we launched a twinning program with 10 selected Italian company in order to create a POC, a proof of concept project together, and try to boost as much as possible their cooperation. What can I say about this project is that is a really challenge for both Jordanian SMEs and Italian SMEs. And we expect, even through the component of the export consortia that has collected more 5 members for the natural cosmetics, 6 members for garment, and 5 members for food supplement. At the end of the whole process, we will have more than 25 companies involved that will develop with this under the value chain of the 3 value chain that will develop a joint cooperation. So this is the right table, I think, to invite all the company of this sector to join the project, because we will finalize the last gate, that is the gate 5, until the end of June, and the gate 5 will be the whole action to boost the company through the financial access and direct to the market. So the business forum that will be organized in May will also support the Level Up initiative. And and more or less this is all. You can have a look at the project at the website that is levelupjordan.org. So I invite, of course, all the company in this 3 sector to send us requests, because we have of course the presentation of all the selected champions of digital change and the members of the export consortia. So it will be very important to organize and to have a matchmaking also with the enterprises of Piemonte. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. I want to recall also a question that Abdullahi was saying about the lack of technology and know-how, and so I think that we are here also in Torino and in Piedmont that also there are a lot of services in many sectors that you mentioned, and of course Italy has a lot to offer in terms of best practice, knowledge, and also technology. Mainly, for example, you were mentioning about the dairy sector. Well, here in Piedmont, there is one of the regions that there is also an excellency on this sector and agriculture, but of course in many other sectors. So that's important now to connect, the dots about what can be, some technologies that perhaps the companies can offer, and then what you are looking for from in Somalia. So I'd like just to give the floor to my colleague also Francesco for just sum up, and also to the Q&As. And
once again, I'd like to thank FederCamere for the organization of this interesting roundtable, and to thank all of you for the participation, also the Chamber of Commerce of Turin, because for us it's important to know all the Italian excellencies in every region in Italy. We're going to Emilia-Romagna, to Veneto, to Milan. Today we are in Piedmont. Dino mentioned the excellencies of this region. It is worth mentioning the partnership between Case New Holland, that was originally from Turin. Now it's international companies, but obviously it's a company from Turin. In Somalia, they have a partnership with a local cooperative in Baidoa. So there is a dealership agreement between Case New Holland, Case IH, the brand of tractors, and Galoge Cooperative for the distribution of tractors in Somalia. And then we are also opening a CNH Academy in Somalia for young farmers interested in deepening agricultural machineries and tractors. So this is just an example of a fruitful cooperation, a success case between Italian companies and Somali ones. The main reason of the forum we are going to organize in May is to attract Italian companies in this kind of partnerships. Because, Somalia is a challenging country. There is a lot of issues regarding security. I also preventing questions that will come from the attendees. However, in Somalia, the private sector is very well developed, so the companies continue to work in spite of the general security situation. So we hope to have all of you in Mogadishu because they have a lot of interest in Italy. Somali speak Italian. Cravatta is cravato in Somali. Cancello is cancello in Somali. So gate, cancello, amico. So there is a strong relation between Somali people and Italians. I hope to have all of you in Mogadishu in May, and now we can open the floor to for questions. Yeah.
I want to thank our present and UNIDO. We believe that in order to work with this kind of countries that develop every year is important to work with institution, UNIDO and Chamber of Commerce, all is the Italian institution and stranger institution, of course, to have to work too hard and together or improve this success, of course.
Yeah,
So,
and working with institutions is the right way to access in countries like Somalia. Because if you go alone, it's very difficult to go in Mogadishu. Yeah, it's the right way.
but we have a lot of opportunities for our companies, for Italian companies that have to export and work with international institution and countries. So it's very important to listen to institution and.
Indeed, I think that these two opportunities, first, this regional forum in Amman will be also important, as you from Amin, and you know that Amman itself, like also he was talking about the Switzerland of Africa, but I think also Switzerland of Middle East is Jordan, because it's also a country that presents many opportunities even to connect with the whole region, thanks to all these free trade agreements, but also for the neutrality and also for the security reasons. So it could be a very good opportunity to connect or to make a hub there for service, logistics, and also to connect with opportunities in Palestine, Syria, like Iraq itself. Also, we have a project specific for that, and we will bring also companies in addition from Iraq to be present at the forum in Amman, and all the Lebanon as well. So this is what UNIDO is doing. We are trying also to facilitate these kind of opportunities for the companies. So we are at your entire disposal also, for any other question beyond this roundtable. We have, of course, other countries that are difficult, to reach, but this is our work. So whatever you have another questions on countries where we are working, we are more than welcome to support you. But of course, we are here now to listen from you and regarding some questions that you can have for Amin or Abdullah.
The floor is open to the
Yeah.
Great.
Saranno anche delle domande online che poi ci diranno, ma intanto iniziare chi vuole iniziare. Prego. I remember that we have the president of the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce, and then Confini, and some enterprise. Yes, the president of Confini. That
yeah, we know Confini. Yes, in the past.
I didn't remember how. Ok, no, il numero delle imprese che avete rappresentato.
In Italia 55.000
Confini industriali. Noi conosciamo Sergio Ventricelli di Confini, no? Che dovrebbe essere il vice vicepresidente. Sì. Ricordi Sergio Ventricelli?
Sì.
Ha già detto la Camera di Commercio.
Well, let's start from the online question.
Yes, sure.
For Somalia and Jordan, they asked if you do already have business experiences with Italian companies, even if you already mentioned something, and in which sector and with what results you cooperate with them.
From Jordan or Somalia?
Jordan.
Both. Okay, both. Okay, let's start with Jordan.
It's an example of cooperation between Italy and Jordan, if you know.
No, actually, I'm not aware about in the industrial sector. We do have a real cooperation between businesses between Jordan and Italy. I'm not aware.
I can ask because we used to have also a recent meeting with Sparkle Telecom. So they are also very well introduced and they are cooperating a lot. So they have a very good experience on business cooperation with Jordan in the ICT connectivity.
Okay.
So this is one of the leaders companies in Italy and in the world that they put the wire to connect access the internet cable under the sea. And so they are working a lot. That they have in another presentation. They were testimonials about how, as you mentioned, also it's easy doing business also to access facilitate the business in the country, because this is important. Sometimes when we are going to a developing country, sometimes the bureaucratic process to open a business, to register the company, but you see in both countries is they have this one-stop window for to access for business and investment.
Regarding Somalia, yeah.
Regarding Somalia, I think there are a few companies, Italian companies, who are already made partnership with some Somali companies in the agriculture sector. That I know, but apart from that.
Yeah, I can share my experience following the project with UNIDO since 2019, last 4 years. The main sector interesting for Somali is the agricultural machinery sector. So they are interested in tractors, in also pumps for agriculture, irrigation systems. So these are the main fertilizers. These are the main sectors they're interested in. And Italian companies already came to Somalia within 2019, 2020 to deepen these aspects. So we have 2 or 3 partnerships already established in these sectors, and I think these are the main advantages of the cooperation we achieved during these years.
Also, we have, I think, potential companies where we met yesterday with the few companies who are willing now to go Somalia and use their experience and technology in fishery technology. So we have
fishery is very popular, very exploited, and also the need is for energy, renewable energies, especially in off-grid areas. So hybrid solutions for off-grid areas, cold chain for fishery products and fruit products. These are the main issues.
Yeah, and actually there is another utility company from Italy that will support Somalia with this water management, the local water utility, to water access, water management, and also like potability.
Yeah.
We can share the presentation
Of course.
after with the
Yeah,
follow-up.
if you share also the contacts of the companies, we'll all invite you to register in the forums. So you will receive a save the date with the link for those interested in participating, with a link to register in the 2 forums. Practically is the way to register.
In Jordan, I want to say that through the experience that we are managing also the Level project, these 4 weeks industrial immersion experience that the Jordanian companies got in Italy and regione with the Italian company was really very positive for both of them, because they start already for later they start to establish the POC project. I mean, the starting point to develop the cooperation in terms of product and service that we want to then deliver to the MENA region, because of course Jordan is a region with a big potential for figures and market, especially for natural cosmetics is one of that. And we can say that stimulate and improve the cooperation with the Italian company in Jordan. It's really an asset because as Italy, we got a very important agreement and we had a road, we had a road open bilateral agreement in terms of trade, and so we can really do a lot. And the Italian company can have a big benefit when we the Italian market.
And they also asked about the, let's say, the construction sector, which is the condition of both countries' infrastructures and how they can participate in the modernization techniques of the infrastructure.
You mean infrastructure and also building sector or all infrastructure? Both.
Construction.
Construction and infrastructure.
Yeah, as we mentioned it in the presentation, there are a lot of opportunities in developing, in taking, in carrying on the major projects, particularly as we mentioned, the railway and the runways and railways. Those are the area of interest for the time being. And those companies who are able and capable to carry on, it's a good opportunity for Somalia to go and either to make partnership with the government or with the private sector, the private companies. So both are available for that area. So that's I think that's what I would say in terms of taking the mega project. Somalia needs expertise and also the technology.
Okay, regarding Jordan, also we do have several mega projects. Also, the infrastructure. The first one is the National Railway, and the second one is the Red Sea, where we will link the Red Sea with the Dead Sea and having turbines to generate electricity there. Regarding the construction, mainly, as I told you, the promising opportunity is in the surrounding countries, mainly Iraq and Syria. There will be a reconstruction, hopefully in the near future, and it will also launch from Jordan in the services as the architecture and interior design. And the second thing is in the production of the material needed for the construction sector.
Yeah, for matter will be the matter will be the matter of the forum in Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Both construction and infrastructure.
Yeah, construction is one of the main assets of Somalia because of Jordan.
Yeah, the main theme is the agri-food. Let's say
Agri-value chain.
Somalia is not that much.
This is the main theme of the forum in Jordan, but it will be a real platform for all business communities who need to see the opportunities, whether in Jordan or within the 5 countries around Jordan.
So for agro, for us and UNIDO, it's include all what is processing from leather processing and leather goods and footwear, the woodworking, furnitures as well, textile, cotton textile, and fashion and garment. So this is part also of the agro value chain. But of course, what is all connected, so all renewable energies and the nexus between energy, water access, and infrastructure as well. So as I said, I mean, more or less all the sectors are included.
Our priority in case of Somalia, priority is the fishery sector and agro processing and also construction. So this mining sector is one of the that Somalia is seeking for interest. So these areas are the main areas that we are looking for partnerships.
It's a multi-sector forum, not only on
If an Italian company wants to start a business in your country and want to set up a company or a branch, it is necessary to have a partner, a local partner, like a new shareholder of the country, of the director that come from the country, or can be a company that is fully owned by the Italian company and so on.
For Jordan, it's based on the sector. And the industrial sector, no, it's fully owned by the investor. But in the trade sector, mainly the food should be one of the partners, Jordan. The industrial, no, it's fully owned by the investor.
Owned by the foreigner.
In Somalia case, there's not requirement. Any company can establish itself, or it can be part of a branch of another company. So as you see, maybe we'll send you the law, the investment law. It doesn't say you must be part of another company, or you must have a partnership. It's not requirement. In that case, way to do your business by your own.
Moreno from Industria. I would like to know from you, how are you in your countries about the West, or recovery, or energy from West? What is the situation?
Waste recovery.
Waste. Because we are fighting with you to develop this kind of work.
In the implementation of the circular economy.
In Jordan, we do have some projects regarding the bioenergy to dealing with this type of waste, but still, we are generating our, let's say, work in the circular economy regarding different types of waste. But we already started with the bioenergy.
Because I worked in Hama with a company, Italy, Giordania. The name is Greenhouse Italy, or Greenhouse Giordania. They worked about the different culture and they had a project for biogas. Because now in Europe we speak about energy. In this moment, Italy is not very present. In Europe, I think this is possible to put off this biogas from everything comes from agriculture.
From agriculture. Okay.
Yeah, from waste, from livestock, converting to biogas. But do you have biogas plant in?
No. That's the point. We still don't have the biogas plant yet.
We don't know how we can maybe you.
I can
speak with you, or
I can link with you. I can link you with the right person to speak with about this.
Okay.
And if you can come to Amman, also we can sit and talk more about this. Yeah.
Because our association is about 6,000 companies or partners, Italy, and we have a few of these companies. They want to make projects in other countries, maybe better
Okay.
Yeah.
And in
So
Somalia,
in Somalia, we are, Somalia, I think it's, that can be developed. We have small companies who use the basic stuff to carry on that work. So we are interested actually to come and, yes, after we finish, maybe we'll sit down and talk 5 minutes about.
because here in Italy, it's more business to have the cows for, you know, to convert in biogas, you know, than the milk itself, you know, due to the high cost of the energy. So there is a lot of, let's say, too much knowledge and experience as, you know, on biogas generation. So the entire value chain is all over in Italy.
Italian companies are known for their quality and also the high tech. They top the list, so that's why we are interested in Italian companies more than any other companies. It's known they are very good in quality when it comes to the quality and also the technology know-how. So the most of East Africa, Italian companies are more welcome.
That's why very good.
They are good.
Quality and is more
Quality,
expensive.
no.
That's why.
Quality comes with the cost.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
Vietnam are in commercial and with Asian countries in general. East Asia, Asian countries, Vietnam, Vietnam is also Vietnam.
Yeah. In Somalia, as far as I know, there is some trade relationships with India, with Indonesia regarding fruit and vegetable trade. So India maybe, and also Indonesia, maybe some experience. They import mangoes, banana from Somalia, and also other
Just
fruit.
processed food. It's import and imports. Yeah, just processed food are imported from there. Nothing other. No investment, no partnerships, no. It's just
Pamplemousse is very famous now.
Grapefruit.
Yeah, grapefruit.
No agreement, no funds.
For Jordan, we the main country in the Asia is India. Also, we are exporting phosphate and some chemicals from phosphate to them, and we import some also chemicals and fertilizers from India. We do have also an FTA with Singapore, and we do have somehow good relation with trade relation with China. Okay. Not in the middle of the Asia like Uzbekistan,
But I guess if you have with Singapore
Vietnam.
and China, then you access to Asian market. So like the Asian, you know, it's a free trade agreement between all the Asian countries.
Any other question? Io vorrei però farlo italiano.
Va bene.
Se utilizzate batteri, noi utilizziamo batteri per l'agricoltura, per l'industria, per l'utilizzo dei batteri come in agricoltura per evitare l'utilizzo di sostanze tossiche, di pesticidi e per la pulizia delle acque, per risanare le acque inquinate e anche negli allevamenti a uso interno, uso per gli umani, per migliorare lo stato di salute e se conoscete l'utilizzo anche in edilizia per migliorare la performance dei materiali. Se conoscete questo utilizzo di
The question is if you use bacteria in agriculture to clean the water and also as to substitute the pesticides. So in order to avoid pesticides, if you utilize
Fertilizers and
bacteria to, and also
also the bacteria is also using for the water purification.
Yeah.
So sometimes I don't know if you
Water
have need
treatment.
water treatment through bacteria.
through bacteria. And the second question is in building sector. If you use bacteria as a construction materiale di costruzione. Questo è il mio nome, questa è una immagine di anche per me. Okay, yeah, please.
I have no water treatment. I have no knowledge about that.
Utilizzano un pool di batteri che sono rigenerativi,
Thank
quindi evitano il consumo del materiale. Quindi tutto ciò che è edilizia, c'è ferro, cemento, tutto quanto, ha una durata doppia se non tripla. E noi lavoriamo con questi batteri anche con le informazioni di quantistico. In questo modo decuplichiamo i poteri di questi batteri. Quindi se in agricoltura si possono usare dappertutto, perché vanno a migliorare lo stato di qualunque materia, di mente e non di mente.
Sì, sull'acqua conoscevo l'utilizzo, sulla costruzione no.
No, per queste economie qui, forse l'utilizzo dell'agricoltura potrebbe essere sperimentato sull'edilizia, avere ancora un po' prematura, diciamo.
Soprattutto agricoltura, utilizzo delle acque. C'è un'agricoltura per ripristinare anche diciamo, la fertilità del terreno, terreni desertici o altro, andiamo a ripristinare la vita praticamente, senza batteri.
So we can make a decision.
In this issue, all I know about water is just to drink. So I don't know how to treatment of the water or those bacteria that comes. I have no idea. All I know is to just drink, whether from bottle or from the tap. That's all I have about this issue. No, anything about the bacteria.
Utilizziamo l'acqua, siamo già in Ucraina dove stiamo mandando questi batteri proprio per la pulizia delle acque, per renderle di nuovo salve.
Ma l'utilizzo sulla costruzione è attraverso anche la pittura e queste batterie o viene impermeabilizzato il materiale?
Viene utilizzato, sono liquidi che vengono messi nell'acqua per purificare.
No, nell'acqua sì, li conosco, ma dico nella costruzione.
Nella costruzione vengono utilizzati sotto forma di
vernice.
Unisci sia le vernici sia i materiali da costruzione e siccome li trattiamo con la quantistica, questi materiali non solo durano di più, ma emettono informazioni che rendono gli ambienti.
Quindi è un additivo, perché questo conosco anche un'azienda qua del territorio, la Volto, che hanno fatto anche loro queste pitture con dei chimici naturali speciali che purificano anche l'aria e tutto quanto. Quindi questo anche noi l'abbiamo applicato anche nel centro storico dell'Havana. Volto è una realtà vostra di eccellenza anche su questo, che utilizzano appunto la stessa pittura, purifica anche l'aria, quindi sarà
per purificare l'aria. Noi abbiamo messo delle informazioni non frequenti, ma informazioni quantistiche che vanno a togliere addirittura le memorie cellulari, cioè chi è presente nell'ambiente a livello del corpo, vengono eliminate le memorie cellulari negative. Perché le hanno memoria, quindi noi andiamo a pulire.
Lei rappresenta un'azienda o un centro di ricerca? CNR?
Io sono sia centro ricerca sia un'azienda.
Per CNR o? Ok.
Università San Paolo di Roma.
Ok.
Ma quindi è un additivo che va messo in un inerte, in un cemento.
Puoi usarlo in agricoltura.
No, ma parlo dell'edilizia.
Per l'edilizia sì, viene un additivo che può essere messo dentro.
Calcestruzzo. Interessante.
Contribuzione nel progetto, nuove soluzioni, plastic and dinner together. It became a new product. We are not
we have
finished, but about 1 year product from plastic within air.
Okay, we have
very good.
Last year in a global call that we launched you know, in many countries around the world. We identify one startup called Ciclo, and they are also doing that. They are doing through the recycling of, you know, material from the buildings and also from plastic. They are, you know, constructing the bricks that they are using for construction. It's all through circular economy. Well, but we can connect. We can connect them. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Avanti così, cavolo.
Le persone da casa.
Sì, sì.
Sì, sì, sicuramente c'è qualcuno ancora collegato e vi ringraziamo per l'ascolto e qualsiasi altra domanda potete rivolgerla a FederCamere o ai contatti di UNIDO che trovate sul nostro sito e vi manderemo oltretutto il follow up dell'incontro.